there are already existing players and challenges which are providing a lot of risk altogether. So that's why I would say that the requirements of a project are being done at the introductory level based on sole proprietor, partnership, joint stock company, and the financial soundness of the company. So without the project document, it would become impossible. Good morning and welcome to the session 3 of Unit 4 in EDP, that's Entrepreneurship Development. And in this session, we are going to speak about a very interesting topic called as the project report. Each one of us in our life would have always dreamt about writing our own project, our own ideology. But what are the steps? How do you write a project? What are the different factors that have to be included? How do you make a project really look convincing? So let's have a look into it. Starting with the introduction to project writing, or a project report is a written document relating to any investment. It contains data on the basis the project has been appraised, found feasible. Now let's understand this factor very clearly here. Now this is a written document that is going to talk about the factors called as your idea, which is ready to get invested. But then the project report does not guarantee you any investment. Let me make it very clear in the terms that project report is only a document which is going to be presented, and this idea can be either accepted or rejected by the investors. Most of the time, it gets accepted because there are certain convincing factors. It gets rejected because people might find it is not feasible. So in the long run, the project report is a written document that is going to talk about your investment idea. So many a times it might be noted or it might be seen that the project might be of a great nature, but it is not accepted. Or sometimes if the idea is really convincing enough, then automatically people will go in and they would like to buy your idea altogether. But what is very important here for all of us to understand is that it would contain of information on economic, technical, financial, managerial, and all the factors that are needed for the project to run. Now, this is the basic document that enables the entrepreneur to know the input and help him to obtain loans from banks or financial institutions. So without the project document, it would become impossible for all of us to go forward and get convinced with the idea altogether. So without that ideology, without the basic document, it would be impossible for all of us to go forward and tell people of how the project is going to be and how it is going to be made feasible. Now, the project report contains a detailed information about land, building, manufacturing capacity. Probably this is the most extensive document which I would like to say, which is going to mention about all the factors that are related in terms of building up your project. It's like a basic idea altogether. So that's why I would say that the requirements of a project are being done at the introductory level. Now, when you talk about the introduction itself, the basic ideology itself, you are putting forth all the requirements, including your manpower, your capital, your people, your process, every single thing you are going to mention in this report so that you will be able to go and tell your investors how exactly you are going to take this project, how exactly you are going to build this project and make it even more successful as far as this particular project is related. Now, moving forward, you will be able to understand the general information that is being projected out of a project. The general information that we are going to talk about the project is need to provide the details of the industry to which the project belongs to. So when we talk about the project and when we talk about the introduction factor here, we also need to know that the project needs to come into a particular sector or a particular vertical altogether. Now, I might be looking on for a project in terms of airlines industry, or I might be thinking about a business in terms of food industry, or in terms of apparels, or in terms of technology. So, which vertical does this project belong to? Secondly, it must give information about the past experience, the present status, problems, future prospects of the industry. So this is very, very important. What is this the industry is looking in terms of? Why? Because when you are presenting a project, it is not going to be that easy for all the members to understand and accept your project, because there are already people in that industry who have experienced the challenges that are running around. Now, let me give you a very simple example here. Jet Airways, when they started to come into the aviation industry as India's first private player in terms of getting into the commercial airlines business altogether, the biggest challenge was that to convince the government and the people that yes, there can be a private airlines that could operate like in any other country. But today, after 25 years of Jet Airways saga and the position, the question that comes back is that if anybody else wants to start another airlines like the Jet Airways or like any other airline industry, who is ready to fund it? Who is ready to take the challenge? Who is ready to take all the hardships after seeing a Kingfisher's demise, or after seeing a Jet Airways getting into troubled waters, or after Indigo having a problem in terms of management, or about the different factors that has been placed by the SpiceJet or by GoAir or by other airlines altogether? The question here is that your idea is not bad. The thought process of bringing in into a particular sector, into a particular vertical, itself starts questioning into a lot of challenges. There are already existing players and challenges which are providing a lot of risk altogether. But when you want to make a specific entry into the same vertical, that means it becomes even more challenging for you to go ahead and convince people saying that how this project will be successful and what is your unique selling proposition. So that's why I say that when you are giving out the information, you need to make a complete analysis of what is the present situation, what could be the situation in future, and how do you plan to navigate through the current scenario, because that is where your project is going to become really interesting. It must also give information about the product to be manufactured, the reasons for selecting the product if the proposed business is a manufacturing unit. Now, when we shift ourselves to the manufacturing side, it is even more challenging, I would always like to say. Why? Because manufacturing industry runs on numbers. It is a simple calculation called as price into quantity, which we all know in terms of our economics. Why? Because the total revenue is always calculated as price into quantity. So when you look into the factor of calling price into quantity, the simplest answer is that how much are you going to manufacture and how much are you going to sell. Now, if you are going to give a number which is not going to be accepted or which is not going to be feasible altogether, then there is a high chance that your project might be rejected by the angel investors. They might feel that this business is not even worth looking at it. They might feel that this business is not a practical idea altogether. So when you talk about the information specific to your project, you also need to be very, very clear what is the demand, what is the focus of the project, how you are planning to take it, how the project needs to move forward. All the clarification should be given well in advance so that people know exactly where this project is sailing through. Moving forward, the executive summary of your project is going to state the objectives of the business, the methods through which the business can attain success, followed by the overall picture of the business with regard to capital, operations, methods of functioning, the execution of business, which must be stated in this report. It must mention the assumptions, risks that are generally involved in the business. So the project report is going to make a very, very important statement talking about what are all the risk factors, what are the objectives, how am I going to run the business. So you are going to give me a snapshot of the entire business in less than 1 or 2 pages, where you're going to just talk about the whole business right from the capital to that of the exit altogether. So that's where, when I talk about the executive summary, it's going to give a bird's eye view in terms of what the business is all about. This is very, very important. Why? Because when you are starting a project and when you're going to launch it, you need to summarize the entire content, entire ideology with just one simple process, and then you will be able to go further and tell people that yes, we are interested in running the business. The next factor is that the organization summary altogether. So when you're going to plan that you're going to start this organization, the project report should indicate the organization structure, the pattern that is being proposed for the unit altogether. It must state whether the ownership is based on sole proprietor, partnership, joint stock company, and the financial soundness of the company. Imagine a time period or a situation where you start understanding a business to that extent, to that level possible, where you are able to see the growth, where you are able to see the financial capability, where you are able to see the entire outstanding process of the business. Now, that will also include your name, age, address, experience, and all the factors. So, basically, you are outlining your organization in the most simplest format, which will go and tell the people as in what you are really interested in doing, how you are going to take the industry forward, and how you are going to build a really interesting organization in terms of people, process, and technology. Now, the pattern of the organization is very, very important. Why? Because you need to tell the people this is the pattern, this is the structure. Like, let's say that it's a public or a private, or the way of you're going to work has to be mentioned. Then only the investors will understand the importance of your project, followed by the project description. So, what are all the factors that you can expect in your project? The location of the site where the project is going to be located, followed by the raw materials requirement. How much capital, how much of the resources do you need for manufacturing? Target of production. What is your target in terms of production? Area required for the workshed. What kind of area is required for the working process if it is a manufacturing unit? Power requirement. So, what kind of power facilities are you going to get located inside a techno park, or you're going to be having an external generator, a standby power? How much power do you require? Followed by the fuel requirements. What kind of fuel requirements do you need in terms of running the business? Your water requirement, the employment of skilled and unskilled labor. Because these days, you need to understand that manpower in any kind of format is required for an organization, and there needs to be a right mix of people, both skilled and unskilled. Followed by the technology that is selected for the project, the production process itself, how you are going to manufacture, what kind of technology you are going to use, why it is necessary. All those factors will come into here. The projected production volumes, the unit prices, the pollution treatment plants if required. All these factors are making this entire process very, very interesting. Why? Because these are all the details that your project description talks about, the entire project. This is the step by step evaluation of telling that what you require in terms of the project and how my project is going to look forward in terms of the operation capacity. Moving forward, the marketing plan. So, if everything is ready, let's say that your product, your process, your things are ready in place, the next thing that you need to worry about or you need to take forward is your marketing plan. So, how do you plan to market your product or your service in this world? So, that is where you are going to talk about your marketing plan. So, here we are going to talk about the total expected demand for the product, It must state which product can be sold in the market. It must also mention the strategies employed in the market after sale, if any service to be provided or stated in the project. It must describe the mode of distribution of project from a production unit to the market. So what we are trying to tell here is that it needs to detail out each and every planners, how you are planning to take the project, where you are planning to market it, what sort of campaign, what sort of advertisement, what sort of belief, the tagline, the impression, the content, the ideology of setting the entire business needs to be put across in terms of your marketing plan. Why? Because when you reach out to the market, the process should be so well detailed that the people should understand your product or your service, and they should be in a position to go and take it forward. If not, what happens is that if there is no clarity in your marketing, then reaching the market will become difficult, and automatically if sales gets affected, the revenue will also get affected. So that's why it is very, very important that you spend time in terms of building up your marketing plan. Next, the capital structure and operating cost. Now, the most important part of any business that you would ever talk about is the word called as capital. Why? Because without money, we are not going to talk anything in the air. So when you need the capital, when you need the finances, how it is going to indicate the extent of owner's fund, how much money you require, at what levels you require. Do you need a stage-wise funding? Do you require one-time funding, or are you looking for capital to be borrowed from different partners? So every single factor regarding your cost of capital will be included in this structure, included in this format report altogether, because you need to go and tell the people very, very clearly, this is what we are looking down in terms of the cost. So if you can give them a complete broke down structure of what you are in terms of the factor, the breakup structure will definitely help the investors to understand your business and take it forward. The next one is your management plan. So management plan is more about the business experience of the business, the promoters and all those factors. Now, the details of the management team, who are all the people, what are the kinds of people whom you are going to get associated with, the roles and responsibilities of the team members, which include your marketing manager, finance manager, HR manager, the sales. So each and every person, what roles they are going to play in your organization, what is going to be their designation, all those factors need to be mentioned, followed by current personal needs of the organization. So every time how they are doing it, in what ways they are doing it, all that has to be mentioned. Methods of managing the business, very, very important. How are you managing the business in terms of the organization, in terms of setting it up? Plans of hiring and training personnel, because that is also needed in terms of understanding the business. Programs and policies of the management, that is very much important, because what programs, what policies, under what governing plans, action, everything has to be mentioned to the organization. Then only it will be easy for them to go forward and build the entire structure. Followed by the financial aspect, because when we talk about the project, the revenue, cost, the proposed factor in terms of balance sheet, the cost function, the income statement, your projected cash flows, all those factors are those minute details that are looked by the investors, because they need to get a clear understanding of how your project is going to go forward, and what are all the methodologies that are going to be employed in order to see the return on capital. So normally the project report must state whether the business is financially, economically viable. If it is not financially and economic viable, nobody will be interested in investing money into your business. Now, the next factor that we have to look is your technical aspect. So, is your project providing all the technical aspects? That is, what are the kind of technology? What is the capacity? What formats? What kind of software? What kind of technological operatives that you require for your production process, for your service to run? All those factors are highly important. Now, for example, when you are looking to build an e-commerce company, that means the stress on technology is very high. For example, you are going to take up a transportation company, the stress on logistics softwares will be very high. So similarly, what kind of appropriate technology you are selecting for the business will make a difference altogether. Now, in the next thing that we are going to see is the implementation. So finally, when everything is being constructed and done, you are going to find out the right time to implement the project, bring the project into actual action. So after the implementation of the project, we come to the conclusion of the project where we can go ahead and say that this is the end of the project. So implementation is a very, very important stage where you are able to execute each and every step that has been mentioned in the project report. So with that, you will be able to come to the conclusion of saying that, yes, I have completed my project successfully and I can take my business up and running. With this, I come to the conclusion of this session. I hope and believe that this session was highly interesting, useful, and informative in nature. In the upcoming session, we will be talking about the project appraisal method in order to understand how a project can be appraised, how it can be evaluated from the different aspects, from different corners as far as possible. Until then, stay tuned, stay blessed, and stay enlightened forever. Thank you once again for joining me on this wonderful session.